that first period, not ideal, I guess, to be shorthanded 3 times. But did you think that maybe that extra break, that day of practice, maybe helped some of the jump that it seemed you guys had off the hop?
Yeah, I liked our first, and I liked the energy that we had on our kill. I thought it was really effective. I'm not complaining about the penalties. They are what they were, but I felt that way the whole game. I mean, the third will be, I'm sure, asked about, but I thought you saw it tonight. I thought we had better jump. We executed better. We were faster. We looked like we had a couple of days off and we needed it.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Paul, you got a lot of talented players at your disposal, but I'm not sure if you have many that you use the same way as Andrew Copp, and that he kills penalties, he plays on the power play, he's defensively responsible 5-on-5, and he's having a career year in points. Where does that trust come from?
Oh, he's absolutely earned it, right? Nothing ever given to Andrew. And developed his game, right? Really worked hard at becoming an offensive player. And he's always had that defensive gift. So no different than those great offensive players. You have guys that have defensive acumen, right? They read the play so very well all the time. It's his strength. But then he's worked on his hands, and he's worked on making plays, and I think he started to use that. Andrew can play on any line, right? And effectively, and he transitions back and forth very well between the right defensive read, the right level of risk in his game to make a play. He's unusual in that. There's not a lot of guys like him.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Allow me to be the one to ask you about the third, Paul. I'm sure you would have loved to just clamp down a 4-1 lead. What happened?
I think we did. In the event that we were right, we took the penalty, thin at best, cat's ear like. And we give up that goal. There wasn't the onslaught. I didn't feel. I thought we were in good shape. I didn't feel that they were. I'm sorry about that one. I was all right with our game. I was all right with our game straight through, and I didn't feel that we were under siege. They're going to push, they'll pull their goalie, they'll do those kind of things. But we had. I really liked our offensive game. I liked the way we tried to shoot the puck. People will walk away from that and say, you got a 4-1 lead against Ottawa, you should be able to hold that lead. I didn't feel we changed our game, and I got way more respect for Ottawa than I think most people do, and that might be why we're 5-1 on them.
We'll go next to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weber.
Well, how do you quantify the impact of a 2-goal game for Pierre-Luc Dubois, given what he's been going through for your team, just starting to settle in?
I don't feel that Pierre's been going through that much. I mean, I'm not going to relate that to the players that left, but we're really happy with Pierre. It's good for him to score goals. I know points are important, but he's a really good young center iceman that's going to get better. I like him with Blake a lot. I think that's helped his game. Maybe he feels better confidence-wise. He scores too, but I think he's building. I'm good with him. Like this has been a good thing for our team. We're winning hockey games. He's helped us do that. I guess numbers are important. They kind of tell you more empirically that a guy's having an impact in the game, but there's so much growth here for this young man. He's going to be a good player for the Jets for a long time. I'm good with where he's at.
We'll go next to Scott Billick from the Sun. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Paul, just keeping on Pierre-Luc there. I get the sense from him when he's talking that maybe this is a bit of theory, but he wasn't always as comfortable in his roles in Columbus, and here he's finding that. Do you see that at all? I'm not asking you to.
Yeah, I don't. The truth is, I don't know what his experience there was, and it's not important, because who you are as a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old and a 24-year-old is just going to change, right? The player changes, especially at that age. That curve is really steep. So we'll kind of relearn about Pierre-Luc, just like Nikolai and Kyle and all those young players that come in, because they change every year. They get stronger and they get faster. So what he does, where we play him, who we play him with will change as he changes, but he's going to be a really, really important part of what we do. Feeling at home and feeling a role, you know what, that comes with age too, because when you're 19, you make a whole lot of bad mistakes on the ice. But when you're like these young guys, you also put up some numbers, and you don't see that yet, right? I'm putting up good numbers. Why don't you just play me more? But there's a whole big chunk to their game they have to grow into. This is the best league in the world. And there's Andrew Copps out there, right? That are going to defend as well as you score. And you got to play against those guys. So where he fits and how he fits, I'd just say he fits, and that will change as he goes forward. The young players always want more early, and then they kind of go through that process where they understand they have to develop all parts of the game. He's willing to do that. He's built to do it, and it's innate for him to do some of those good defensive things. So he has that, and then he's just going to grow and play against the other team's best at some point in time.
We'll go back to Mike McIntyre from the Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Paul, you've talked about playing Pierre-Luc with Blake and why you think that can be a good fit for him. On that first goal, is that what you really like to see? Blake's an elite playmaker and passer in this league, and that Pierre-Luc just rips that shot, doesn't look to defer to anybody. Right. I see he had 5 shot attempts tonight. I'm not sure where that ranks, but it would probably be up there with his numbers.
For sure.
So you like to.
So the part that I like about that is the turn that Blake makes under pressure, right? He shucks a guy in the corner and then he comes out and makes that pass. I think Pierre can do that with his size and his strength. He can control the puck like that, and I don't think that's necessarily been a part of his game, because it's not for most of those young players. You'll see Kyle Connor does that now, and he never did that when he first came in the league, right? Take a guy one-on-one, understand his speed and how to use it. So Pierre-Luc's going to learn that from Blake, and then at some point in time he'll play with different kinds of players, because he'll be the guy doing that, right? And finding those guys in the holes, and that's players always learn so much more from their peers and their colleagues than they do from the coaches. We're systems. We're trying to teach 5 guys how to move. That stuff they learn from each other.
We'll go back to Jeff Hamilton from the Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I want to stay on that Blake and PLD kind of connection. I'm just kind of curious, when you watch them, there's a comfort level there. It almost feels like the game slows down for him. Maybe it's his age, maybe it's just the chemistry there, but it seems like Blake kind of offers that comfort zone, whereas maybe, as he continues to learn the new systems, you don't practice as much, he's, a lot of information. Yeah. Is Blake that kind of piece for him?
Yeah. So the part of that statement, like the game kind of slows down, it's because Blake can hang on to it under pressure, right? So some guys will get the puck on that one-on-one battle in the corner. You need to come to them as fast as you can, because they're going to need that support. With Blake, you can almost stay away from him a little bit, right? If he's got full control of the puck, you don't have to come to me. And I'm just kind of, because I've answered about 4 questions about this pairing, I'm not sure it's going to stay, right? I know that it'll work, and it may work kind of long term, but we're going to run this probably another stretch of time. You got to be careful what the games I put on, and then I'm going to want to get fairly close to what I think we're starting with as we get closer to the playoffs. So I like it for now. I'm not sure that it's our best lineup just as yet. We're still figuring that out. I think when we get off this 5-game road trip, we'll have a much better handle on it.